We are back with another episode here on season 3 of Elevated Barbers Podcast. My name is Bradford Kelly, aka the Business-Minded Barber, and I am here with...
This is Delmar, aka Delmar The Prvnce, co-host of the one and only Elevated Barbers Podcast. Let's start the show.
The information that you're giving them is going to elevate them financially, mentally, emotionally, and going to rise and they're going to elevate.
We are here trying to elevate barbers as they're elevating the industry.
The one and only Elevated Barbers Podcast. Let's start the show.
We have a special guest for you today, and we are not going to hold you any longer. Let's bring him to the stage. Easy the Barber. What's good?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
We good.
Thank y'all for having me
Pleasure to have
today.
you on, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How do you feel, man? You on Elevated Barbers Podcast.
Man, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting. I'm kind of mad you guys didn't have me on earlier.
Well, we wanted to start this season off with some of the greatest, some of the best barbers that are doing it right now in the industry. And Easy, let the people know about what's happening November 3rd. Tell the people what's happening on November 3rd.
Man, so November 3rd, I am throwing the first ever San Francisco Barbering Beauty Expo at the Cal Palace. If you aren't familiar with the Cal Palace, it's a huge arena. Before it was basically the Chase Center before the Chase Center, and I'm throwing the San Francisco Barbering Beauty Expo. We're gonna have thousands competitions, battles, everything, education, you name it. Huge. November 3rd. Stay tuned.
Yeah, no. So I've had the pleasure, Delmar, of being able to get to know Easy the Barber. The first time I met him was last year. We was at the NorCal Barber Expo, the first NorCal Barber Expo in the Bay Area. And I met him at it was like, what would you call that we met at the Saturday night?
It was like a meet and greet pre-party.
Yeah, it was like a meet and greet pre-party, but it wasn't like a real party though. It was more of like a calmer environment. I was afraid that it was gonna be a real party, and I was just like, man, that's not my vibe. But I need to go meet some people. But it was like real cool, real chill, and I got a chance to meet him, man. Go ahead.
That's good.
It was definitely more intimate, where we can all converse, and it was amazing. It was an amazing night.
It really was. Like, it was a game changer night for me, for sure.
Let's talk about that night. Let's talk about that night. What happened at that event? You said this was in the NorCal Barber Expo?
Yeah, 2023.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it was the NorCal Expo was in Pleasanton last year.
Yeah.
And the pre-party, it was at the hotel. I can't remember which hotel it was, but we had a pre-party day. And we were in the lobby of the hotel, I guess, in the lobby, like towards the restaurant area.
Yeah.
And I want to say it garnered about maybe 60 people, 70 people.
Yeah.
Gave us all a chance to network, finally meet each other. Everybody that's been networking through social media that hasn't met yet got a chance to just full on meet each other and conversate. It was a beautiful thing. Met a lot of new people, ran into a lot of familiar faces, and without that night happening, this right here wouldn't be possible. I would not be here right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, NorCal Expo.
Man, for real, Jerry Herrera, Urban Barber College, Alejandro Nargis, and all those that put that together, man. It was a fire evening. And it was such a pleasure getting a chance to meet you and also meeting Shy. For those that don't know, Shy is Easy the Barber's right hand, man. When they go to war, they go to war together. So it's been a pleasure getting a chance to kind of both get to know you and get to know her. But when it comes to your journey, some people don't know how Easy the Barber became Easy the Barber. So can you kind of go back a little bit into your story and kind of show a little bit of the growth that happened for you, man? Because when you talk about the San Francisco Barber Expo being in the Cal Palace, that means something to you. And I want you to share a little bit about why that means something to you.
Man, so it's crazy because the Cal Palace, right? It's in San Francisco. I grew up literally right across the street in the projects, literally right across the street from it. That's probably the worst projects in San Francisco. But I grew up there every morning. Every morning, I look outside the window. I can see the Cow Palace. You know, as a child, I could see the Cow Palace, and to be the first ever barber to throw a barber expo there, that means like the world to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be able to help everyone else in the city get there as well, whether it's judging, educating, hosting, anything involved with the Cow Palace Expo. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And for me to be able to enable that for everyone, it's special. It's special. And like I said, like I never would have thought as a child looking at the expo from, you know, where like that was gonna be me on the billboard years from now. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's crazy. Y'all see me now, housing? Y'all see me now?
Yeah. No, you good, man. That's humbling, man. To hear that you was in the projects right across the street.
They literally. Yeah, I mean, and so I mean, basically with my journey in barbering, a lot of people don't know this, but I've been barbering only for 5 years. Maybe I want to say licensed for about 3 now.
Yeah.
Barbering wasn't even in my plans. You know, I know if you knew me before barbering, never would in a million years anybody would have thought that I would have became a barber. You know, that was nowhere in my books or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
It just sort of happened. I always worked a 9 to 5 my whole life, and I realized that I felt like I had a lot more to offer the world than to just be behind, you know, a cashier in a warehouse or whatever, just doing that. I just knew I had a lot more to offer the world, especially with like these. I mean, we all have a past, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like the universe and God's giving me a chance to still be here after everything, because I have a bigger plan. The universe has a bigger plan for me, and this is what it is. You know, I can help motivate and inspire and help everybody else. Like I don't take any day for granted. There's a reason why I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So Easy, what inspired you to become a barber? You say you was working a 9 to 5 and you didn't see this in your future plans, but what was something that triggered the thought of you moving into the barbering industry?
So it's crazy because every year I have a Friendsgiving trip that I usually go to. It's about 20 of us. We either go to LA, Tahoe, or Arizona, wherever the case may be. But it was one year I was in the back seat of the van. We rented out a van and drove to Tahoe. I was in the back seat and everyone's talking about their jobs and this and that, and I'm in the back like, damn, like what am I doing? You know, I'm in the back just like, shoot. But I told myself in the back, I promised myself that next year, a year from now, our next Friendsgiving trip, I'm gonna be speaking about something that I love and I'm passionate about and what I'm proud of. You know, I didn't know what it was gonna be, had no idea. But when we got back, that's exactly what happened. I was actually sitting in my barber's chair. Shout out Rock, Haircuts by Rob. I was in his chair telling him what I was going through. And he told me, he was like, you ever thought about barbering? Like, as long as I've known you, you don't like being told what to do. You kind of like trying to, you initiate things yourself. You like building things, you know, yourself. So like, I mean, that's what a barber is really. And I'm like, nah, I can't keep my hands straight. Like, come on, like I'm gonna be shaking and all that. I can't do that. That ain't me. And then he was like, nah, you'll be good. I'm telling you, you'll be good. Once you put your hand on the head and all that, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm like, you know what? I have a point. So I think my brother had told me that my old barber had opened up a barber college in San Francisco. And I had got in contact with him, drove out there the following day, walked right in, signed papers the very first day. I fell in love. Like I didn't fall in love with it yet, but I enjoyed the environment that I was in for the first 15 minutes that I spoke to the instructor.
Yeah.
But and ever since then, I mean, first day, I think I started maybe like 2 weeks after. First day, they threw me on the chair. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. They threw me on the chair.
They didn't give you like no practice weeks or nothing like that before. Just like, hey man, go ahead and cut some hair.
Get on the battlefield and go. You know what I'm saying? Like sink or swim, basically.
Yeah.
I'm up there like oh, you know what I'm saying? And that like that was the first haircut. I still remember what the guy looked. It was like an 80-year-old man. And after that haircut, that's where I knew I was like, you know what? I think this is what I want to do. I want to get better at this. I want to get better. And I instantly fell in love with it. Like during the time when I was cutting his hair, I'm talking to the other students in there, this, that, just the whole environment while I was cutting. I fell in love with everything. And it was from then on, it just sparked something in me. And here we are. Like man, I had so many plans after that, as in like what I wanted to do with the school, because I'm the type of person that's like I like to take initiative and kind of create culture.
Yeah.
So that's the goal that I had going into barber college. Shout out Mr. Ace of Faves and Jay Gregg, Adam Blitz, my two mentors.
Yeah.
Without them two, I wouldn't be who I am right now.
They was at the expo, that the NorCal Barber Expo. I got a chance to meet Anthony that night too, man. We actually got a good connection. We got to get him on the podcast, bro.
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to help with that. You got me, Ease?
I got you. We'll make that
all
happen.
Right, we got to make that happen. Anthony, come out from out of the shadows, man. But no, Easy, you brought up some really, really good points, man, that I want to highlight. Elevated Barbers Podcast, we really are focusing on helping barbers to elevate themselves in business as well as their craft, right? And you brought out something about your mindset that I hope a lot of people caught, where you didn't have a real plan in the back seat of that van, but in the back seat of that van, you made a promise to yourself that next year you was going to be in a better position. Then you fast forward to the fact that you sat in your barber's chair and you began to share with him what you were doing and what you were kind of going through. And that barber created an impact into your life to where it triggered you going down a totally different path. Now, as barbers, I want to bring light to the fact that we are supposed to create impact, right? Like without Rob the barber that cut your hair in that moment, then we wouldn't have Easy the barber. But for him to do what he was doing and it impacted you in your life, you made a decision based on that conversation to change the direction of where you was going to go. It gave you so much motivation that you ended up going into Anthony's place and making a connection and not fearing the growth journey. That's deep, bro. That's deep. So many young barbers, they fear the growth, but you accepted it. So that's just kudos to you, man. Kudos to you for real.
That's crazy because I never actually looked at it like that until I actually like speaking about it. The impact of a barber is crazy because he impacted me just like that. That's crazy. Yeah. I didn't even realize that. I'm gonna have to give him a call today.
You're like, hey man, thank you.
It goes to show that what power that we have as barbers, man. Like just one conversation can change somebody's whole life, or it could change their way of thinking. I know for me, I share this story often, but if it wasn't for Brad, I wouldn't have been a barber. I was in school for computer technology, but Brad he went to barber college at the same time I started picking up the clippers and cutting my own hair, which was in 2005. And just by me having that relationship with him, and then going with him to, what was it, Cal Berkeley,
Yeah, we went.
Brad?
Yep.
Yeah, we went to Cal Berkeley, and he cut a few heads, and watching him cut people hair in the garage, like it just sparked something to me. Like, my friend is doing this. He has a passion for it. He's doing well. Maybe this is something I could get into. And I've been in the game 19 years strong now. 13 years with a license though. So 6 of those years I was a illegal barber.
He was a criminal barber for a little bit. But yeah, that type of impact, it has a domino effect, you know. So I know for me, when I got into the industry, I didn't have actually anybody to look up to from like you know, super far, super successful, something like that. But it was my cousin. And kind of like Delmar, I saw my cousin doing something that I thought in my mind, like, hey, I think I could do that. You know, I've been in the barber. Well, y'all look at me now and it's a little bit different. You know, I used to have waves back in the day. You feel me?
He was on the swim team a little bit.
Yeah, man. I was good, man. I was good, Ease. But right now the beach is closed, bro. But my cousin, it was through conversation that triggered my decision into trying barbering. And when I tried barbering, it wasn't even so that I could be a barber. It was actually, I'm gonna do this until I figure out what I want to do. But then for me, what made me stick was I'm a big people person, like huge. I love people. And so I connected with the craft of barbering because I could connect with people. So if I got good at cutting hair, then I would have a lot of friends, had a lot of relationships, you know what I mean? And that's really what happened. So, but my point is, like, the impact that one person can have on another person just by following your own passion, man. I respect you for choosing this path.
Thank you. It's crazy too, because like one of the moments of my life where I felt like well, I will always remember this. But so like I said, we all have a past, you know, and I have a close friend circle outside of barbering. It's about 20 of us, right? Like we literally came up together, grew up together, been through everything together, and to this day we're still tight. But we're all around the same age range. I'm 35.
Okay, you a little young, a little younger.
But it's crazy because a lot of them, they have kids now, right? And I had them tell me that, you know, oh, my son, my daughter, hey, they look up to you, and I'm just like, yo, we came up together. If they would have known me 10, 12 years ago, like it was nothing like this, you know. And for them to, for my friends, kids to all say they look up to me and all that was a moment in my life where I was like, you know what, I got to keep going, because they're the next generation. They're in middle school, they're in high school. I damn near teared up when they told me that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. You say you're 35, man. But it's just amazing to know that, you know, you said 10, 12 years ago you was a completely different person, but you can tell that you appreciate your growth from the person that you were to the person that you are now, and now it's starting to affect others. Like you said, it's affecting the next generation of your friends. So you know, just keep on the right path that you're doing, man, because other people are looking up to you, other barbers are looking up to you as well. Like you said, you never know who's watching, you never know who you affect.
Yeah. Delmar, I was on the phone with one of your old clients not too long ago, and it's interesting that we get on this topic about the impact of a barber, because he was telling me how he paid attention to you, and noticed that you weren't doing business the same way that every other barber was doing business. and he was looking at your growth. He was paying attention to how you conducted yourself in the shop, the language that you used. He paid attention to how you were different in the space that you were in and how you were a leader. And so you don't, he's never told you this. And I was just asking him, like, you know, what he was doing with his life. But to hear us talk about this stuff and how easy he's impacting his nephews and people that are like 16, 14 years old and how they look up to you, you really don't know how powerful a role like a barber is, because you're automatically, you can't help it, you're in the role of being an example by being a barber. And so the way that you conduct yourself, the passion that you come to work with, the ability to make somebody's day more positive, all of that stuff matters. You know what I mean? Like for your barber to be able to speak to you easy and get you to consider a different path for your future, he must have been doing something right that you could have noticed for you to even listen to him. You know what I mean? But he was doing something. And the same thing with me, and you know, didn't know I was going to create an impact in Delmar's life, but I was going about my life and I had some purpose. I had a goal that I wanted to get to, and I just invited him to tag along while I was on my journey. And, you know, and I didn't know it was going to impact him, but it did. And so as barbers, man, I hope that we really are listening to this, because if you are trying to really establish yourself in this industry, you want to establish yourself as somebody that has a positive impact on the people that you're going to come into contact with, whether it be your clients or whether it be your peers that's around you, or whether it be the people that you work with or around or under. It doesn't matter. If you do what you're supposed to do as a barber, you're going to create an impact. You can't help it.
Definitely.
Now let's talk about the impact that you had on Shy. How did this happen?
Oh man, shoot. So it's crazy because Shy and I, we met in barber college.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was in barber college.
We literally met in barber college. She was a whole different person, as in like she was shy, like living up to her name. She was shy. She barely said a word. You know, I guess it could get, you know, a little intimidating being the only female in barber college, you know. But she came in and she kept to herself. She was in the corner doing her book work. You know, it was her first week, I believe, and I was sitting there with Aunt, and I'm just looking at Shy. I'm like, Aunt, you see her right there? This is literally what I told her. I said, Aunt, you see him right there, or her right there? She's like, yeah. What about her? I'm like, that's the future. She's gonna be the future. It's like, bitch, she don't even talk. I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah. She'll be the future. I'm telling you, she's gonna be the future. I don't know what it is, but I can see it. And watch. We're gonna take off. Like I'm gonna take her under my wing. We're gonna take off. And he was like, all right, bro. I don't know, but like nobody here knows what she sounds like. Like what the fuck? She barely talks. I think one Saturday, so before I started, you know, with the barber battles, how I kind of really like blew up was in the beginning of the whole barbering social media thing. And I was one of the first to do it around my area while I was doing skits, right? So I asked Shy, I'm like, hey, like, what's up? Do a skit with me. Like, okay. We ended up doing a skit where it was like kind of like the skit was like kind of like passing the torch down to her, because I was actually leaving the school in like a couple of weeks. So that was like a passing of the torch skit. And when that video took off, ever since then, Shy and I were just like this. Man, it's crazy. We've been through a lot together. We grew together in the industry, outside of the industry, all that. And like everyone says, like you won't see me without her without me. That's just how it is, you know. And a lot of the success that I have with you know what I'm doing, I credit a lot to Shy, because like I'd go crazy if I didn't have her to you know constantly get in my head sometimes and calm me down or keep me stable, bring me back down to earth when I'm feeling like this, like that. When I get a little too ahead of myself, she, puts me in check, vice versa.
Yeah.
You need that,
Yeah.
and that's why it works so well. It works so well.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because with when we started the barber battle, uh I started it by myself. And first episode, I used to do a one-on-one format.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hold on, Easy. You about to go into a
okay.
deep place real quick. But for those that don't know, Easy the Barber has done how many barber battles has it been? It's been like 13, 14?
uh, 13 battles, and the 14th will be the expo, the Cow Palace.
Okay. So yeah, let me just give a little bit of backstory for the people, man. So they realize what you just tried to stumble over it, like they already know. But no, so Delmar, Easy the Barber has thrown 13 barber battles. You know the one that we went to in Seattle?
Yeah.
He's done 13 of those, right?
Wow.
And I never went to one of the battles, but from everything that I've seen online, every battle has been epic. I know some of the judges that you've gotten. I know some of the contenders that you've gotten to compete. How did you start doing barber battles? This is before the Cow Palace. All of this stuff is leading up to what we talked about in the beginning, is the Cow Palace being this epic thing that you're going to be doing. But you started somewhere. So how did you start with the barber battles?
It's crazy. So I was sitting down at the barber college. We were all in a circle, me, Shy, Ant, all of us. We were just chilling there. And something in my head just hit me. I'm just like, hey, yo, I bet I could cut faster than you. Somebody's like, what? No, hell no. I bet you I cut faster than you. Battle me then, battle me. And you know what? All right, let's battle. All right, let's pick a date. Let's battle. And then a couple minutes later, I'm like, you know what? How about I record it? And we kind of edit everything. It's like, okay, all right. It was just ideas coming after that. I just kept, how about I get a judge? How about I do this? How about I get, we play music, all this, that. I'm like, okay, you know what? We can make this happen. How about we make a flyer? All right, let's do it.
Really?
Then literally it was, that's how it started. I looked around, I'm like, you know what? I seen Shy. I'm like, hey Shy, why don't you battle me? Like, let's just battle. Let's just see how it goes. She's like, okay, if you want to lose. I'm like, let's do it. So and that happened at the college, right? We were just sitting there chilling. At this point,
wait, so you weren't
I actually wasn't licensed.
Oh,
I
you
wasn't
weren't
licensed yet.
licensed.
I was
Okay.
no, I graduated, but I'm at this point I'm waiting to take my test.
Yeah.
But I'm just chilling there at the school, and so we decided. At the time, Ant had bought Traditions, so it's now, and then they're waiting on me to get licensed to come over there to open up shop, as in like manage the place. But like it was already bought, everything. It's just there now, just waiting on me. So I was like, you know what? How about I take the battle to the shop? We'll do it at the shop. That way, I can promote the shop, this, that. The school already has the name. How about I build it up like that? They're like, that's a good idea. So here comes the battle, the day of the battle. It all started literally. And then, what I wanted to do differently was turn it into a whole like show series, as in like we're gonna edit everything, we're gonna interview people. We're just gonna call it episode 1. I had no idea I was gonna going on to episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
All I knew at the time was it was episode 1. So it was a one-on-one battle. We only, let's say it was like 30 people. 30 people. it brought out some of the OGs in our area in San Francisco. They came out to support.
Nice.
It's crazy because I had no idea what the hell I was doing. No,
Where did you have any reference point, a gauge to create what you were trying to create? Was it literally everything out of your own mind, or had you experienced a battle before that led you to this moment?
okay, yeah. Actually, yeah, I actually skipped that part. So before the whole conversation at the school,
Yeah.
I went to my first battle. It was Bebe Latino's battle in I believe it was in San Jose. It was like in the middle of nowhere. This was before he took it to the hotels. It was like in an industrial area. I had went by myself because all of my classmates had flaked on me. So I was like, you know what? I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go by myself. I'm going. So I went. I did not know a single soul. Right. I'm there. I'm just like, I'm watching everything. I see somebody going crazy in the crowd, like but towards the stage area, like really pumping up everybody. I'm like, who the hell is that? It was
It was who?
Nargis, right?
Oh,
It
it
was
was
Nargis.
Nargis?
Nargis.
Literally.
Hey.
I didn't at this point I didn't know who she was. Like I'm new to the game. Like I don't know anything. I don't know people in the industry like that, but I saw her, she's pumping up Urban Barber College. I'm like, damn, yo, like that school, they're lit. That school is
Yeah.
lit, yo. I see Bella Latino, I see Cuts by Vic, I see all of them. And at this point, I'm watching everything. And I'm like, I like this. Like this is dope. You know what? I want to do this. That's what I told myself. I want to do this, but I don't want to be that person, battling. I want to be behind all this. I want to be the one running this thing.
Mm.
And that's how my mindset is for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but that's
I
just how I
Yeah,
am.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, so that's how it started. I witnessed Bebe Latino's battle. Um, and then that's where everything came about as in at the college. We threw our first battle. Like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no guideline. I had no like anybody in my ear telling me how to do this. So I
yeah.
kind of freestyled everything. I was battling the one-on-one battle. I was hosting it on the mic at the same time, trying to battle on the mic. I didn't even have a DJ. I was playing music through my phone, through the speaker, on YouTube and Spotify. Yes.
What?
So I'm changing songs, battling, hosting on the mic at the same time while everybody's watching me. And I'm like, I'm at this point, like I am tired. Like once the battle ended, I dropped everything down. I'm like, thank God it is over. Thank God.
Yeah.
You
Man.
got a sigh of relief.
But literally, it was a lot. Like I said, I had no structure really. I didn't know like how I didn't have like a solid game plan of how I wanted to do this. I
Yeah.
thought I did.
Mm.
Um, but so after Shy won, matter of fact, Shy won. She beat me.
Oh, hey, bro, if you would have won, you would be the
Mhm.
most epic barber ever. Just so you know that for you to be able to host, be on the
Host,
mic, fake
DJ.
change songs, and battle at the same time and win. Oh, that would have
That
been
brother
crazy.
octopus.
honestly, if there's somebody who like I wouldn't mind losing to, in a one-on-one battle. I'm actually really glad that it was Cuts by Shy because like
Yeah,
you can't start the story and end the story better than that,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Not that-
but after the show, I think the following day I was telling Ann, I was like, yo, I'm tired. Like I don't think I can keep doing this myself. And he was just like, dude, like, why don't you, get somebody to help you? I'm like, I don't know. I can't trust nobody to do this. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I need it done my way, this, that. And he was the one telling me, like, you have to, and you need help. how do you know if you can trust someone if you don't give them a chance to? And I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh shit, he's kind of right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first person I thought of was Shy. She was just sitting there, and I went to Shy. I'm like, yo, like it was a success. The battle we just had. How do you feel about jumping on board with me and we run this thing together, you and I? Let's just do this. Like let's take this industry by storm and let's just keep growing. Let's do this. She was, yo, let's do it. I'm with it. And ever since then, here we are.
Here we are, man.
Man, that's
We
pretty
we
dope,
started.
man.
We added. We started. We after each episode, we didn't added like things slowly. Judges, more judges, a DJ, vendors. We started adding different um, details to the show, as in badges and all that, and it just
You gotta
got
feel
bigger
for what
and
was needed.
bigger. Exactly, and then we changed the format to 6 barbers. We added more categories, and then eventually it was too small. The crowd just kept getting bigger and bigger, and more competitors. I had to start turning people down, and I was like, you know what, this is actually getting real big. So I switched the venue to the Barber College, and then we added it was so a total of 5 categories and 15 people each category. Everything filled up. So every time we do that now, it all just fills up 5 categories, all 15. We're probably the only battle in the Bay Area besides, I want to say NorCal, but the only other battle that fills up all 15 slots, all categories. This thing grew from just 2 competitors to over 70. The crowd from 30 people to over 400 now, and I felt
Did we both
like it
whistle?
was that.
We both just whistled in amazement.
Literally, I mean, it's crazy because a lot of the people that are throwing battles now, I love what they're doing. They're especially this year. A lot of them are throwing their first barber battles, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of them battle for the first time at my battle, and now they're
Yeah.
throwing their battle.
There go
So
that
to see it,
impact again.
literally, just to see it kind of grow like that, and people are branching off, throwing their own battles, and then they're asking me to judge their battle, and kind of paying homage to that, and like I'm all for it. Like I'll do it. Whatever I can do to help you guys start your battle up, because I know how it feels to start it up and need help.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know that feeling. So if you want my help, I'll be more than happy to. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's just
Easy.
where we're at. And it's
Easy. I won't pause you right there, man, because that was very powerful what you said. I don't know if you realize that or not, but just the fact that all this that you're doing now started from you battling somebody and like just doing it for the sport of it, just for the sport of barbering. And then it grew into, okay, we're gonna record it. Okay, we're gonna throw on some music. And before you know it, you got a whole barber battle underway. And then that turns into doing the barber battle. What was the barber battle episode 1? And then like you said, you didn't know how many episodes you was gonna do. It just kind of turned into something. That's dope, bro, because you had a thought, you went with it, and then it just started rolling, snowball effect, growing
Yeah.
into something bigger.
yeah.
And then here you are today, you're hosting barber battles, you're getting ready to host one in November. I believe you're a judge too at barber battles, right?
Yes. So I judge and I host a lot of expos around the Bay, um, everywhere else as well.
Yeah, you be
I,
all over the place.
Yeah.
Easy be everywhere, Delmar.
And see, that's why I wanted to point that out, because a lot of times, a lot of us that's in the industry, we can have ideas to do things, but the biggest thing that stop us is fear, is insecurities, as me and Brad talked on the previous episode. It's just different things that play in the back of your mind that cap your potential, and you can't see past your fears and insecurities. But you didn't let any of that stop you. You was like, I got an idea, I'm going with it, let's do it. And then from there on, it just grew into something bigger. I applaud that, man.
Yeah, me too. Now let me give this little insight. Let me give this little insight because I know Easy, man. He's not giving you this detail. Delmar, he told us that he's only been in the industry for 5 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy, right? Now
Yeah.
he's thrown 13 barber battles.
Right. I'm trying to do the math. The
How
math
do you
ain't
do
math.
that, right? How do you do that? So
The
Easy,
math
you
ain't.
gotta
Wait, wait,
you
wait,
gotta
wait, wait. Let me point out another fact. He's only been licensed for 3.
right. And the first battle that he was unlicensed in that moment. In that moment when the battle happened. So what the reason why I'm bringing this up, Easy, and what I'm really wanting you to share for the guests and for those that are watching is success loves speed. Success loves speed. The fact that you can have a determined mind to start something and then also have the ability to grow something, but not have, like what Delmar said, the fear of not knowing what's going to happen to stop you from at
Mhm.
least taking the first step. That's major.
Yeah.
So talk to us about how did you do 13 barber battles
Right.
in less than 5 years that trampolined into you becoming the first San Francisco native to throw the San Francisco Barber Expo in the Cow Palace? Like, how did this happen, man?
Man, it's crazy. So the first episode, I remember the exact date. It was March 29th, 2021. Um, first episode. We at that point we were throwing barber battles. I want to say every month. It was, you know, back to back. Boom.
Yeah.
Next month, we'll throw episode 3. Oh, next month, we'll throw episode 4. And at that point, I'm like, okay, you know what? Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. I gotta kind of chill now. It's like I'm getting tired. I gotta work too.
Yeah.
So we're waiting, a couple of months now, and that gave me time to take more gigs, as in judging and hosting, because I want so all the big expos now they start to see what I was doing and ask me to, hey, can you judge at our expo? Oh, can you host at our expo? This, that. Um, I think so. The very first person that gave me a shot at an expo was Jerry the barber.
Jerry
He
Herrera.
Jerry
Yeah.
Herrera. He throws the NorCal Expo with Alejandro. So before the NorCal Expo, it was the Bay Area Barber Expo. That's Jerry's,
Yeah.
and they merged together and made the NorCal Expo. But
Yep.
it was a Bay Area Barber Expo. He had reached out to me. I didn't even know him. At this point, I didn't even know what expos existed. Right? He had hit me
Mm.
up and DM'd me. He's like, hey, I love your work. I love what you're doing on social media. How would you feel about showcasing at my expo? And I'm like, showcasing, like what is that? So he
Yeah.
broke it down for me, and I was like, you know what? I'll be more than happy to. Let's do this. Let's do this. Um, I went. It was in Santa Rosa, right? And so I showcased. And while I'm showcasing in the like towards the back by the door kind of. All I hear is somebody screaming on the mic, getting the crowd pumped, screaming, screaming. I look up. I'm like, guess who it is, y'all?
Nargis.
It's
Nargis.
Norgis kid. Now she's screaming on the mic, right? So I'm like, dang, like, you know what? I want to be up there. This is exactly what I said. I want to be up there. Like, this is cool and all showcasing. Uh, this is dope. This is dope. But I want to be up there. I want to
Yeah.
do what she's doing. Um, I mean, after that, I kept throwing the battles, and then I guess uh, people started seeing it and kind of like knowing me for throwing battles now. So they're like,
Yeah.
hey, how do you feel about judging? Can you judge at the expo? Can you host this expo? At that point, I had more time to take these gigs, and I was doing it while I was, throwing all these episodes as well.
Now,
And
let me ask you a question, Ease, because you're bringing up
yeah,
something that barbers definitely need to hear this. you are growing in two different lanes, but you're still going the same direction. As a barber, you're still going the same direction, but you're growing in two different lanes. How were you juggling the obligation to be behind the chair versus the obligation that you were having, to either go and judge something, or to be at, an expo to showcase yourself, or even when you were throwing your own barber battles? How were you doing that? That's a lot of stuff to be doing all at the same time. You one person, you got a lot on your brain, but how were you doing that?
It's crazy. Like if you know me, I'm all over the place, right? I I I do not know how I make it work, but like I really like I try to take as many gigs as I can because I love doing this. I love building my brand, my team, all of that. Like I love this. Social media,
Yeah.
just all of this. And now I also have my clients as well. My how I make money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, I really don't know how I was able to do it, but it 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 was tough. It was tough. It's not for the weak for sure. It's not for the weak.
Yeah.
Like I'm all over the place. If you look right now, I want to show y'all something. It's not my fault, but I'm at like I'm at like 490 text messages and missed calls. I don't like this
Oh,
phone. Like it's bad.
You need an assistant.
I don't even look
yeah.
at my Instagram. I mean, I'm not saying it to like it's yeah. Like I'm all over the place, but it's a good thing that like to deal with like to have a problem like this. If you know me, I'm never like not doing anything,
Yeah.
and I do not know how I do it. Like, not to sound cocky or
Easy.
anything.
Now it ain't sounding cocky, brother. With that ambition and that drive, you will retire early.
Yeah.
You will
Should I hope
retire
so?
early. We all do, man. I mean, look, I love cutting just like the next man, right? That's my passion. But if I can make money using this, my mind, versus using my hands all the time, like I said, I start making some money outside of the chair. I'm still gonna be behind the chair, just not as much. It's not gonna be what I'm depending on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm praying that some things come into play.
Yeah. We
I
got
can't
some
speak too
stuff
much about
coming.
it right now. Yeah, we got
Yeah,
some
we got
stuff
some stuff
coming.
coming.
Yeah, that I'm excited about. But
Yeah.
I appreciate your ambition and drive, man. Because like you said, you busy, you moving around, but it's not for naught. I could tell you're going somewhere with it. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like you got a goal in mind. I'm putting in the time and the energy now, so that I can enjoy the fruits of my labor later. And when I
Yeah.
say later, not old. I mean, like in the next 10, 5 to 10 years, maybe even less than that. I don't know, what God got in store for you, but just at the rate that you're going, you will retire early.
Yeah.
So
Anybody?
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I want more than this. I want to say a couple years from now, you're gonna see me like on these TV shows and acting and all that. Like, I want to be doing all of that. I want the
Yeah,
world. I want the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
go for it.
There's four things that I talk about when it comes to, I'll be teaching business and stuff, right? But I I talk about like the four levels of making money, and you are living in number four, where the first level is learning how to work fun, right? Where you enjoy what you do. There's some specific things that you need to pay attention to in this level so that you can really be having fun and not burning yourself out. The second one is learning how to work smart, where you become a little bit more efficient with your time, efficient with what you're doing so that you can make more time, make more money for your time. Then you have the working less and making more, which allows you to do exactly that: work less, make more money. And that's all behind the chair. But what you're doing is what I like to talk about is working big. And working big has to do with you doing big things to get big results so that you don't have to be stuck behind the chair and chained to the chair. Opening different pathways for you to have multiple streams of income. You're living in level 4. You know what I'm saying? Like you've done the other 3 and you've probably grown a lot in those areas, but you're living in level 4, man, where you're focusing on doing big things. Like you said, you want the world. But can you speak to the barbers? And don't speak to me and Delmar. Speak to the barbers. Look at the camera and speak to the barbers and tell them the importance of thinking big. Like thinking big. You remember where you was when you was looking at the Cow Palace across the street. Now you see where you at right now. It all didn't just happen to you just because it happened. It happened because you had a brain and you had ideas and you weren't afraid to execute them. So can you please tell the viewers, why do people need to think big? Why do people need to look for bigger opportunities? What's that mindset like, and why do they need to have it?
Check this out. We have maybe about 85 years max, maybe 85 years on this earth. 85 years. I'll be damned if I spend half of that time not going for what I want to do in life. You don't get another shot at this. You don't.
Yeah.
You get one shot, 85 years max, if you get that far.
Yeah.
So why do you want to wake up every single day doing something that you don't love or not going for what you want? I'd rather go out there, try something that I want to do and fail versus should I do it? Should I not? I don't think I'm not. We got 85 years max. One shot.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. If you fall, fall. You're supposed to fall. Get back up. Do it again.
Yeah.
Like I said, 85 years max.
Yeah. If that. That's good. That's good words. Delmar, I know you got stuff to say about that because you passionate in that regard about not letting fear stop you from taking that first step. You mentioned it earlier, but you should give a little bit of insight too on why should people think big, man? Like why should they think about a way bigger future than what they have right now? What's the point?
Man, so to piggyback off what Easy said, so I saw this post the other day on Instagram. I think I reposted on my story. It says generational wealth started with one risk taker. So I've always prided myself on being somebody who, when my back is up against the wall, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to come off that wall. And I took risk throughout my life. I took risks throughout my career, and they were good risks. Sometimes I failed, yeah, but just like Easy said, I got back up. I didn't stay on the ground. You can't win a fight on the ground.
Yeah.
You had to get back up swinging, and that's the motto of my life. Like just my natural life, my Brad don't like this word, but my barbering business, my barbering. I was about to say career because he don't like the word career when it comes to barbers, but my barbering life, you know, my spiritual journey. Just every time I failed, I've gotten back up. You know, you get dazed by the enemy sometimes. And that enemy could be your thoughts. It could be your, you know, your inner self, just, you know, things that you deal with, like I was speaking of earlier, insecurities and stuff. But one thing I know for certain is that I would not be where I am now if it wasn't for God. I didn't do any of this on my own. And like I said, I say this a lot, not to get religious on y'all, but I just know where I come from. I know where I'm not supposed to be at. You know, like I said, I wasn't even supposed to be in the industry. I got in the industry and almost gave up because things wasn't progressing as fast as I wanted them to. But I stuck with it. I stuck with it and always had a goal in mind. First of all, I had to prove myself to myself, had to prove myself to my parents because they didn't think barbering would be a good career for me until I got into it. And then they became my biggest supporters. But it's always about reaching that next level, man. It's always about going. And then sometimes it takes having that person in your circle that you spoke of earlier, Easy, to be that pushing your back.
Yeah.
Brad, a lot of times, I give Brad a lot of praise, man. Brad has been the pushing my back throughout my career. Trey has been the pushing my back. That's a guy who I used to co-own MVP Barbers with. For those of you who not familiar with Trey, but he's been the pushing my back at times. It's been my mentors, Mr. Parker, Mr. Brown, like different ones that I have that I look up to, that I reference for advice. It's been my pushing my back. I'm married now, my wife. Just want to be a provider for her and my household. Like that's my pushing my back sometimes. So
Yeah.
all I got to say is the moral of the story is if you fall, don't stay on the ground, get up and hit the ground running. Or walk if you need to, but make sure you walking or running forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Constant.
Yup. Consistency.
Consistency, man. Now, you guys just dropped some heavyweight nuggets for the viewers, man. Y'all just both did. And I want to.
What about you? You got an answer too.
What you mean? What's the question?
Answer your own question, brother.
What's the question? What did I ask you?
The question was, what you got to tell the viewers about, just, using Easy as an example, how he saw something, he had a vision in mind, and he kept going no matter what.
All right. So this is what I will share with the viewers to piggyback, like I said, on Delmar and what Easy said. You have to think big. You have to, because if you don't think big, you'll stay small. And small has to do with your way that you're thinking, because it directly impacts what you do. If you don't think big, then you'll act small. You'll always get small. But the moment that you start to think bigger than what your surroundings are, think bigger than what your environment is, think bigger than even probably what you feel like is a dream. Think bigger than that, because if you start taking actions bigger than what you're doing today, then you'll have a lot bigger results that you'll have tomorrow. So the reason why this is such an important thing, and this is why I wanted to try and bring that out of both of you, is because there's so many barbers that are hesitant. They just won't take the action necessary to have a better life. There's a lot of fear, a lot of insecurities. And I like what you said, Easy, man. Like we have about 85 years max, if that. I like the if that part too, because you don't really know what tomorrow brings. So why live your days every day in a state where you feel inadequate? You feel like you're unprepared. You feel like you're not motivated. Why? Like all of that stuff is a choice, right? Easy, you made a choice to change your life in the backseat of that van. You made a choice. When you was sitting there and you was talking to the other barbers and you was like, hey man, like I can cut better, faster than you. You know what I'm saying? That was a choice to say that. It was a choice to actually make episode 1. It was a choice to say, hey, Shy, can you support me in episode 2 and forever, far we ever would go? She was like, yeah, that was a choice by her. It was a choice for Ant to even give you the keys to traditions. It was you know what I mean? All of these things are choices, but a choice is an option. It's when you choose to decide that what makes a difference. You know what I mean? Like we all got choices, but what do you decide on doing? Because one of my business mentors, Easy, told me, they said it's really good to be able to make choices. That's cute almost. He said, but when you make decisions, that means you choose to cut something off. You choose to cut something off so that you can do this. And that's what we've all done in different areas of our life. Even Elevated Barbers Podcast. This was a decision that me and Delmar made so that we could impact barbers, like we were talking about from the beginning. We want to be able to create an impact in the barbering industry that helps barbers to think higher about their profession, think higher about their business, think higher about their future. And how are they going to be able to do that? Is through different resources that are available to them. So we wanted to be a resource for them. You see what I'm saying? That's why we bring in on people like yourself, Easy, because you have so much gold on the inside. We trying to be the miners of that gold and get that out so that people can see it. And they like, man, if Easy could do it, I could do it. Yeah.
Literally. And another thing I want to tell everyone is block the noise out. When I was coming up, I had a lot of I'm not going to say names or anything, but I had a lot of barbers that's been in the game for a while, a lot longer than I have. They weren't supporting what I was doing, or they had shade thrown at it. But me, you know, I felt like I know who I am. You know, I've aside from barbering, like before barbering, I went through everything in life, you know, and I felt like I can care less about what the next person thinks of me. Literally, you can call me whatever. I really don't care. You know, I'm still gonna do what I do.
Yeah.
Uh, I had to go through that with the OG barbers because they were just talking down on my battles, this, my skits, that, this.
Yeah.
I just, you know what? I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. Keep doing what I do.
Yeah.
Boom. Fast forward now, or not even now, but about a couple years ago, you know, hey, can you help me with this? Can so and so this, that? I'm like, shoot. No, I mean,
Full
me, I'm
circle.
not gonna exactly like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna hold a grudge thing. Like I'm gonna help everybody out, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, just do you. Don't care about what the next person thinks about you. If you know yourself, like don't let any of that affect you. Like really, like I can care less about what someone says about me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good, man, because so many people, when they try to do something new or they try to take that step that we're talking about, encouraging you to take, sometimes you're gonna have people in your ear that's negative, man. Like,
You will have people in your hair that's negative, and it's on you.
Yeah.
You're the only person that can control that because you're the only person that really has you over your emotions. You
yeah,
choose to let that affect you, to be mad, to be sad, to be happy. Like you're the only person. If somebody is saying whatever to you, blame yourself if you're mad. You know what I'm saying? You have control over that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. The
that's
the main
powerhouse.
thing,
that was
the main thing to wrap up what you said is stop needing validation from others for things that you're trying to do or things that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah,
That's the main thing. That's something me and Bradford had a conversation recently offline, and I was like, dang, this is what's holding me back. This is what's been holding me back from reaching my potential. Look, this is not to boast about myself. I'm good at a lot of stuff that I barely even give effort to. That's just, everything I pretty much touch, I'm pretty decent at it.
yeah,
But I stop myself, I limit myself because I'm always in my head. I don't worry about what the next person gonna think or needing validation.
yeah,
Me and Bradford had that conversation. I needed it, Brad. I'm gonna just be honest with you. At that point, I needed it, and I broke the mold from that. It's like, you know what? Everything I do from this point forward, I'm doing it with confidence. I
yeah,
don't need validation. I'm doing it with confidence. And if it don't work out, cool. Lesson learned. Write it down.
yeah,
But we're gonna keep progressing forward.
yeah. And what you're saying, Delmar, is key because Easy brought it up earlier. How when you do fall, it ain't a failure, it's a lesson.
Mm-mm.
It's a lesson learned.
Lesson
Like you
learned.
really get a
Yep.
chance to learn. Like the episode 1, Easy. You could tell me episode 1 was not like episode 13, was it?
not at all.
Exactly. So if you never did episode 1, though, you would have never got to episode 13. Right?
Right. Like
So when a barber is thinking about the fear of not doing something, or what you were
Mhm.
talking about, Delmar, about that needing external validation for something that you want to build. You want to build it. You got to take that first step, build that muscle
Mhm.
memory. Like, don't be afraid of tearing some muscles so that you can grow some bigger muscles. That's what weightlifting is all about. That's what growing in this business is all about. You got to try it, do it. Don't be afraid. You got it.
That's what
Yeah,
growth
man.
is about. Period. You gotta get out there and do it.
Yeah,
It's like a baby. A baby can't learn how to walk if they don't fall. You gotta at
yeah,
least try to fall though.
yeah. Now, Easy, let's get into this San Francisco Barber Expo, bro. You go from 13 barber battles. We 13 barber battles deep. You done handed out probably over 100 trophies. You done got some of the biggest names to compete. You got MCs coming from all over the place. And now here it is, November 3rd, the Cow Palace. You are about to throw the first San Francisco Barber Expo. Break down for us how you went from Barber Battle 13 to thinking about an expo? Because an expo and a barber battle is different, right? Can you tell us the difference between an expo and a battle?
That's perfect because Jerry and I was just talking about this. Barber battles and expos, two totally different. A barber battle is a lot smaller compared to an expo. An expo, you have 20, 30 plus vendors, in attendance, you'll have thousands. That's an expo. A battle is more intimate, a smaller setting, whether you have 15 competitors or what, but it's two totally different two events, right?
Yeah.
But the moment so after 13, I kind of like we took a step back. I looked at it, I'm like, yo, like we literally fill up all slots every single time now. And this thing is just growing. I got people from Bakersfield, people from San Diego, people from Santa Barbara. They're all driving 6+ hours to come compete.
Yeah.
At that moment, like I'm like, holy, like, whoa, like all over Nevada. I got people from all over coming to my battle from what I first started. And they're all coming in. And you got people in the Bay Area, they're all calling my battle like the biggest like barber battle that's not an expo. They call it the biggest barber battle in the Bay Area. And it's like an underground feeling, but it's not underground. I just had a conversation with Lonnie from United Barbers Club about that. He even called it when he first came to one of the shows. He was like, "This is like the 8 Mile movie, like feel, like underground but big."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yo, that's exactly what I thought when I took a step back, because I had performers now.
Yeah.
I got local rappers that are barbers as well. I'm trying to help barbers and everybody in our industry, and the ones that make music and all that. I got them performing there now, and it was just a whole different feeling. And now, like I said, now I got car clubs lined up in front of the battle, like 20 cars, all old schools, and it's just I shut the whole block down,
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that point, I'm just like, you know what? I think it's time. If we're garnering over 400 people, filling everything up, I'm just gonna swing big. I don't want to go rent a hall. That at this point, like I'm already networking. I'm at different events. I'm just meeting a lot of people at this point. And what had happened was, I was backstage at the Cow Palace for one of the MMA fights that they threw. We were Traditions. We were one of the sponsors. So I'm back there, in the VIP room with all the head people throwing everything, the Cow Palace people. We're all drinking, just networking.
Yeah.
And shook the right hands, had the right conversations, and boom, we're locked in. A year from now, that was a year ago, and a year from then, here we are now. It was just all networking, meeting people, the right people. They believed in what I was doing. They started following me, and they seen everything. Because like I said, like I turned everything to a whole show, episodes, so they got to see everything.
Yeah.
And this wouldn't have happened if they didn't believe in it. They wouldn't just give the Cow Palace to anyone, because they got to make money too.
Right.
If we sign contracts and stuff, and they don't, it doesn't meet to what it's supposed to meet. So for the Cow Palace to believe in what I'm doing, that's big too. That's huge. I'm forever grateful. But it was about time. Like I had to just say, forget it. I'm swinging for the fences.
Home run, knock it out the park.
Yeah.
Next, I want the Chase Center. I want everything. Like I said, I want the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Ease. You mind if I be honest with you? Is
Absolutely,
it okay?
absolutely.
All right. Easy. I honestly believe that this expo is going to be the first San Francisco Expo. Um, but it's going to probably be one of the most impactful barber expos that we've had in the Bay Area. I think that, and this is not competition or anything of that nature from with NorCal Barber Expo at all. It's just more of your personal passion to impact the barbers that come. It resonates, bro. It resonates. So you doing what you're doing, I think it's going to have a huge impact. I think it's going to have a huge impact on the industry as a whole. I think that so many more barbers are going to be coming flying from out of state to be a part of what you have going. This is just the step one. But just like episode 1 was back then, and now you on episode 13, and episode 13 is the biggest barber battle ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the biggest one ever. Um, I don't think that that's going to stay the same when it comes to the way that you do your expos. I honestly feel like your expos are going to grow into something that you probably can't even see at this moment.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, that's definitely the goal. Um, all the other expos that goes on in the Bay Area, NorCal, the Golden State, without them, like I wouldn't be throwing this. This wouldn't be possible.
Yeah,
They walk so I can run, and I'm
yeah.
grateful for that. Um, I'm a part of those expos as well, hosting, judging, and I'm just learning a lot from them. I'm on the phone with Jerry, uh, Bebe Latino. I've learned a lot from these guys, and
Now,
um,
Baby Latinos,
you know,
does he do the Golden State Expo?
he does. He throws the Golden State expos.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like we all have like our different like sectors. Jerry has Santa Rosa. Bebe Latino, he throws his expos. He has San Jose. Nargis and Alejandro has the East Bay, like Concord, that whole area, and then I
Yeah.
have the whole San Francisco area. And for all of us to be able to come together every show and kind of do this, it's a blessing. It's what like the industry needed. Um,
Yeah.
I feel
Y'all
like we're the
supporting each
most.
other.
Yes, yes. I feel like right now we're at a point where it's the most united with our industry. We even got
Yeah.
United Barbers Club. They got Sacramento side,
Yeah.
and like I said, for all of us to come together and work together, right now it's history. Right now, like it's legendary what's going on with our industry out here.
Yeah.
I feel like anywhere else in the country, it's not like what we're doing right now. Like you have Houston, you have so and so, this, that, but over here you got all of us uniting, and I don't know if they understand it as in like NorCal, go to state, all that. I don't think they understand it, but right now we're making history. We're in the middle of history right now, and it's going to be a moment like spoken about for a long, long time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I will say that I believe that you are correct. I can't speak for any other coast or whatever, but just being in the South, and then I just had a recent trip to the West Coast, going to Tacoma, Washington, and being a part of Jesse James's Barber Battle 5, and
Yes.
just seeing the culture, and then, watching your Instagram and seeing how you and other barbers y'all all support each other, and it's not competition. That's big. That was big for me to see, just going to the barber battle that Jesse James hosted, because even the people who lost, they wasn't mad at the people who won. They just
Yeah.
like, hey, congrats, I'm glad you won, but next year I'm coming even harder. That
Yeah.
type of thing. But they all held each other's hand. And like you said, that's history for our industry, especially the industry that is pride and ego dominant. It's a very competitive industry, and sometimes it's competitive for the wrong reasons. Not all competition has to be negative. I believe in
Right.
good competition, because good competition will provoke the next person to do better. It shouldn't provoke hatred though. But just to see that you guys' culture on the West Coast is completely different, that was huge. That's huge.
Yeah. It goes to what Easy was talking about
Jesse
earlier.
James is dope too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Easy.
That's another thing. Jesse James is dope too. He runs Washington or Seattle,
Watch.
right? And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Washington. And we were able to I actually got to meet him the same time. It was at the NorCal Expo at the meet and greet.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have gotten connected with Jesse James. And you got people from our side working with him on his shows, and he's working on the shows out here. So now you got two different states working together, as far as Jesse and all of us out here, and that's legendary. That's crazy.
That's dope.
It really is. It's like what we was talking about earlier when you were talking about Easy. You were mentioning how it's gonna be a choice whether or not you decide how you feel, right? You was just like you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be mad, or whatever. You allow somebody else to impact you. You got to block out the noise. But it's the same thing when it comes to the circle of influence that you have in your life, right? The people that you allow to pour into you, the things that you receive from others, like that's all still choice too. And it's amazing to see it's amazing to see what's happening here on the West Coast, because as a barber, you don't really get a community feel from outside of your barbershop, and sometimes not even in your barbershop you don't get that community feel. So to see what I've been seeing recently over the last, for me, it's just been 2 years, but just seeing this growth, and everybody is rooting for everybody's growth. Like everybody is, you know what I mean? Like nobody is trying to throw shade on the next man's competition. Nobody's trying to throw shade on who's the best MC. It's not about that. It's like, let's all be the best that we can be, and I'll lift you up. I'll help you. I'm gonna elevate you. I'm gonna elevate you. And it's teamwork. And the team is, it seems like we're all team barbers, like like team, let's all be successful. It's crazy, but you control the circle of influence that you have in your life, and you chose to connect with different people, and there's some people that you had to decide not to stay connected to as well for you to get to where you at. But that's all huge stuff what we're talking about for barbers that are listening, man. Like you want to control that circle of influence, and you want to choose the circle that you want to be around. Now, did you, Easy, I want to ask you this question. As you begin to move in this industry, did you find it difficult, challenging, or some people would just say hard? Did you find it hard to talk to these greats that you're associated with now? Was it challenging for you? Did you have to overcome something on the inside to get there and be like, hey, my name is Easy the Barber? How did that connection start to go?
To tell you the truth, I felt like it wasn't as hard just because of who I am, my personality. I don't like if you have a name or whatever, I was never intimidated. I'm not a person that's really easily intimidated. I can just walk up to you and we have a conversation, and
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's different though. Everyone's different. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But with me, I feel like where I'm at in my life, and everything I've been through, I was already able to overcome that stage of my life, and where I can comfortably walk up to anyone and speak to them and just like I've known you.
Yeah.
And I don't let someone's status or any of that get to me, and vice versa. Like when if I'm meeting a competitor or a student barber for the first time, like I make sure I dedicate my conversation. I'm looking you in the eye. I'm gonna give you the time of day. I'm gonna listen to what you're talking about, because literally we're the same people. I've been there. I'm not more than you. Any of that stuff. And I know how that feels when other barbers, want to think they're this, that.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to do is have people feel that way, and genuinely. And yeah, I mean, I have no problem just walking up to anybody and just speaking to them. Really, tell you the truth.
Yeah.
No, not being
Beautiful.
cocky or anything.
Yeah. No, you're not being cocky. That's just being honest.
Yeah.
Like you ain't scared of no man.
Literally, I mean, shit. Like I said, we got 80 years, 85 years. Why am I gonna be scared to talk to somebody? What the hell? Come on now, like
Yeah.
I been through so many things. I'm still here. You know, like why am I scared to talk to somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they regular people just like any of us, man. Like
Yeah.
I've had my share of being around NBA, NFL, baseball players, and I've met some down to earth people in those three NFL, and MLB, and NBA, and they like was down there. They was real cool. They was easy to talk to. But then, like you said, you get the ones who caught up in their own hype. So I move around, but like I was able to meet one of the biggest people in our industry, Bazio. I was like, oh snap, it's Bazio. I'm gonna go talk to him though. It wasn't like starstruck. Now it is crazy because like, dang, I've been following this dude since 2014. He got a huge following on social media, on YouTube. So it's like to see him in person, and then him and Brad was sharing the stage together. Well, Brad went on first, and then Bazio was after him. But just seeing him, meeting him, and then having him do the podcast while we was there, like it was dope. It's kind of like you, man. Like, yeah, they big, but man, just go talk to them, bro. Like you'll be surprised. Some of them people don't even be wanting all that hype and the glory. Like that be other people doing that.
Yeah. That's so true. Well, this has been an outstanding
Wait,
episode.
don't
What?
don't don't end it yet. Don't end it yet. I gotta ask Easy my bowling question, man.
Oh,
I saw him doing some stunts in bowling on Instagram. I just gotta ask him, like, how did you get so good at bowling, bro? Because I tried to bowl. I'm not bad. I can get a couple of strikes, but you was doing some Steph Curry type stunts, man. He was look, y'all. I gotta describe it to y'all because I can't physically see it right now. But I seen the brother bowl the ball down the aisle, and he turned around and took his phone out and recorded it, and it hit a strike. So I was like, how did he know at that point in time that it was just gonna be a strike? Like, how many takes was that? Was that the first take? Or are you just good like that?
Okay, so you know when it comes to what I do with barbering and everything, like I don't let it get to my head. I'm pretty humble. But when it comes to bowling, I'm gonna talk my stuff, yo. Yo, I feel like there's no barber in the Bay that could beat me one on one in bowling. Right? I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Okay.
Um, I so I'm a part of a bowling league. I
Oh,
bowl
that
weekly.
explains it.
Uh, yeah. So me and the guys at the shop were on a team, and we've been doing that for the past 2.5 to 3 years, I believe.
Nice.
Um, like we go to Reno at the for the end of the year tournament. We bowl against leagues from all over America. Um, but we're actually in a bowling league, and I mean I've been bowling casually like for a while since I was a kid, maybe 15, 14 years old, just like everyone. But we kind of like just started the league in 2.5, 3 years ago. Um,
Mm.
it was just it was a weekly thing where you're gonna get better and better and better, and then
Yeah.
boom, LeBron James is bowling now in the barber in the yeah. No, but once I let the ball go, you can tell where it's gonna hit,
Hmm.
and you can tell by the way where the ball is aligned how it's gonna go. So that's where I knew like I'm turning around. This is strike, no doubt. Next, next, come on now.
I think that's
Two.
how Steph feel when he released the ball, man. It's like I seen a highlight earlier, and it was just showing different clips of him shooting the ball and turning
Mhm.
around before it go in. I think he's so great at shooting that he knows, hey, look, it's going in. I'm gonna go ahead and walk down the other side of the court already. And you was kind of doing that with bowling, man. He was like, turn around. It's a strike. It's a
yeah.
strike.
Yeah.
I mean, don't
Yeah,
get
I'd
me
have did
wrong
that.
though.
It'd
There,
have been a
there are
gutter
times where
ball.
don't get me wrong though. Like there are times where I turn around thinking it's a strike and it's not. But I don't usually
You
do
leave
that
one pin up.
unless I know it's a type. Yeah, exactly. 1 or 2, you know, 1 or 2. But
That's still good.
any
I leave like 4 up looking at the ball.
any barber that want the crown in the Bay Area, DM me. Let's go. We can go 1-on-1. Let's bowl.
Let me
Okay.
get my skills up because I'll take on that challenge. Let me get my skills up. Nah, man, this has been an outstanding episode, Easy. Outstanding, bro. Like, how'd you enjoy being on Elevated Barbers Podcast?
I loved it. I loved it. I didn't even realize we've been on this long. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
wild. And like I said, I'm mad that you guys didn't ask me to get on this thing sooner. Shoot. But hey, season 3.
Season 3, we here, man.
Well, look, we
Now-
kind of started like you, man. We started off, it was just an idea. Then we started recording. We had season 1 by ourselves, and then season 2, we decided we was gonna have guests, and then season 3, we have you on, man. So, hey, look, the time is now.
Yeah. Now, what is something that you want to leave for the barbers, man? Just some type of encouragement for their growth in this business. Like we said, you know, Elevated Barbers Podcast. We are here bringing on. We are helping to elevate the barbers that are elevating barbers. That's what we're trying to do. And so, Easy, man. For your final words, man, please give the viewers something to think about as they go through this industry.
So one thing that I'm blessed to see, you know, at this very moment are like the growth of other barbers. I didn't witness a lot of these barbers. I'm gonna actually name some of them, like Bag, who else? Bag, and all these other barbers in the Bay Area start from battling at every show to finally getting, you know, asked to showcase, to judging and hosting, and these are prime examples of growing, you know, and I'm blessed to be able to witness all that from all of them, like Gotti, all of them. I've seen everybody start off from barber college and just work their way up because they're not giving up. They're going. They're lose, win, draw, whatever. Like they're going because they have a goal in mind. They're trying to get better. They're trying to get better up here, there, all of that. And don't give up. Just keep going like they did. And I'm just blessed to be able to witness everyone's growth out here. It's amazing. It's amazing. And just to be able to help everybody at the Cow Palace get up there. I mean,
yeah,
shoot, keep going.
Well, that is outstanding, man. Very, very humbling words to close us out on, man. Just keep going. You know, no matter what comes, what goes, just go after your goals. Do not let insecurity stop you. And remember, man, like we talked about, like there is a power behind being a barber. You're going to impact so many different types of people, whether it's the people that's in your chair or the people that's in your life. But make sure that you focus on being a positive impact as a barber, and keep elevating, you know, keep elevating. Always try to grow. Always try to get new knowledge in your mind. Always try to make sure that you get around those people that's going to add value to you, not take value away from you. You know, make sure that you're in those circles. Make sure that you create those circles. It's up to you, as Easy was talking about this episode. It's going to be your choice to make a real decision to cut some stuff off and make sure that you continue in the right path for your life. So I think we are done, man. But this was solid. Yeah. Now, where can people go and get the information about the San Francisco Barber Expo? How can they get tickets? How can they can they get some discounts for being on Elevated Barbers? Can you give them a hookup? We recording too.
That's something we can definitely talk about. That's something we can talk about.
We'll edit this part out. We'll edit this part out. But yeah, that would be cool if we could. We'll edit this part out. Don't worry about it. We ain't gonna put that public. But if we could, that would be tight. You know, for the people that watch this episode and then they want to come to the Barber Expo afterwards, if they could get a something off. for being able to attend, as a guest. Man, that would be an honor for us to be able to have that.
Okay. I could look into. I got to get with the team and everything, and that's definitely a possibility. Shoot, but so
But yeah, so let's get back to the question. They gonna edit. He gonna edit that part out. All right. But easy. How can everybody get to the San Francisco Barber Expo? Where do they need to go? Is it a website? How do they get tickets?
Okay, so if you go to Instagram, check out my profile, Easy the Barber, or even Cuts by Shy, San Francisco Barber Expo, Benji Blends. We all have the link to our website in our bios. It'll take you straight to our website. It's the San Francisco Barber Expo website. Check everything out. We have a lot of information there. Click the tickets tab. You'll see the general admission tickets, the battle competitor tickets, and the vendor booth tickets. Vendors, yo, you guys are gonna want to be there. It's the Cow Palace. Why not?
Yeah.
But the website is there. That's where you're able to purchase all the tickets. If you have any questions, DM me personally. I can help you. I can help you along the way. We're actually going on a barber college tour, starting any day, any week now. Actually, me,
Nice.
Cuts by Shy, Benji Blends, Blur Gotti, and Cuts by Jay. We're going to be going around different barber colleges and teaching and educating and speaking about the expo. You can grab tickets from us there. That's going to be happening. I also have, what else do I have? I have every year I throw an anniversary party for the shop and the barber college together. We throw like the biggest party every year. We have the whole club rented out. And if you know about our anniversary parties, you were there you were there for the pre-party. You weren't there for everything else. But we got lines on the block. You can't even get inside if your name isn't on the list. And this year is going to be a little different. We have the same venue, the Valencia room. We got the whole place. This time it's an anniversary party / celebration of the San Francisco Barber Expo. So it's you could call it the pre-party. We will have a pre-party for the expo the night before, but this one is like another pre-party, like 2 to 3 weeks before the expo at the same spot. Don't miss that. October 12th. I will drop the flyer. I've been dropping light stories about it, and all our tables are almost gone. I think we're gonna have about 19 tables.
Nice.
There's just bottles popping up all over the place. I'm telling you.
No, I'm sure that's gonna be.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a good time. It's for the expo as well, so it's gonna be huge. Yeah, Cow Palace, man. Like it's crazy. This is gonna be huge, legendary.
Yeah.
I can't even state how legendary this is gonna be.
Yeah. We're excited for you, man.
I'm super excited, and I'm getting me a vendor's booth. I'm putting it on record. I'm getting me a vendor's booth. I'm not sure exactly which logo is gonna be up, but I'm gonna have me a vendor's booth for sure. Gotta be at this one, man. You do not want to miss the San Francisco Barber Expo, November 3rd, happening right here locally in San Francisco. But if you outside of the Bay Area, don't worry about getting a ticket. You get you a ticket. Come fly out. This is gonna be something that you want to be at. You don't want to miss this. This is gonna be the beginning of history in the making, and one of the greatest expos that you'll ever be able to be a part of. So, if you want tickets, you heard Easy. He said go to his Instagram at Easy the Barber. As his handle, go to Shy the Barber, go to Benji the Barber, all of these, and go to the link in their bio and get you your tickets for the San Francisco Barber Expo. Did I do good? Did I do that right?
SF Barber.
sfbarberexpo.com. That's the website. sfbarberexpo.com. All right. So we are out, man. I think this is good, man. This is a good way to end it. Delmar, did you have any peace and blessings that you want to send to the people?
Peace and blessings. This has been a phenomenal episode. We appreciate you, Easy, for taking time out your busy schedule, taking time out your day. We know that you got like 19,000 emails and text messages and phone calls you got to get back to.
Yeah,
but you made time.
The podcast.
Right.
Emails, 9,000 emails.
That's insane. Yeah, man, we know that you're busy, and we appreciate you being a part of our platform and sharing gems and sharing your story. Appreciate you for coming on the Elevated Barbers Podcast, brother.
Thank you for having me. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
Man, look, tell everybody about us. We're gonna make you a collab when we drop these reels. But tell everybody, your friends, your nephews, your cousins, tell everybody to watch the Elevated Barbers Podcast.
Yeah,
Season 3.
Season 3.
I'm gonna send some stuff to what was his name? Golden State Barber Expo. Baby Latino. Yeah, so I'm gonna send some stuff to him, and hopefully we could get him on too, and really represent. So yeah, man. So for all of y'all that have been tuning in to Elevated Barbers Podcast, I hope that you really enjoyed this episode. This was Easy to Barber, showing you that it's not easy, but it is easy at the same time if you put your mind to it. So let's get it, y'all. We're Elevated Barbers Podcast. We are out.
The information that you're giving them is going to elevate them financially, mentally, emotionally, and going to rise, and they're going to elevate.
We are here trying to elevate barbers as they're elevating the industry.
The one and only Elevated Barbers Podcast. Let's start the show.